Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Max's Worldview. And before I start, I would like to remind everyone to like, comment, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. So, today's topic I would like to talk about is the rise of a right-wing political party in Australia called One Nation. So, the thing about One Nation that makes it so unique is how it's basically Australia's own right-wing party, and it's run by this woman named Pauline Hanson, and she is a bit comparable to Trump in her policies of protectionism and being anti-immigrant. And another factor I would like to mention is if you look at other Australia's history, it's very unique in where it was originally made as a place for the British to send the colonizers, and we could definitely see the influences that it probably even has to this day. And one thing in researching about Australian history that I noticed was unique was how that in the past, the thing is, when they brought their British prisoners to Australia in the first place, after they were freed, they were actually allowed to own their own land after they left. It goes to show what kind of influence happened, okay? And another element I would think is good to bring up in this scenario is to see how there was definitely a dark history with the stolen generations who tried to forcibly assimilate the natives, and there was also the White Australia policy, which barred mostly Chinese immigration into Australia. And the more I dive deep into this scenario, it's interesting to see how things have changed and what factors led into this history when we're looking into the sources. And more elements I would like to bring up is how, diving more into the history, we see that even very recently they allowed immigration into Australia only in the 1970s, so it's much more recent. And so when diving into this topic, I hope that soon we can come to realize the influence of more and more of what we can do in the presence of us in what can go on in the Australian society. And it's just another interesting example of how it's a bit ironic how most of the Australian people are not originally the natives, but they become the majority and then they become anti-immigrant. So hopefully in the future there will be more awareness in this scenario. And finishing this, I'd like to thank you all for watching and see you in the next episode.